Generation X. Now, this is technically a Marvel movie. Technically, it was made by Fox. But it's about Marvel characters, and it's based on the comic book Generation X, about a group of young mutants training at the Xavier School. And I must say, I watched this when it came on TV in 1996, and I remember really liking it. So I thought, well, I'm going to review it since I really liked it. But I bet it won't be as good as I remember. It was way better than I remember. It has become one of my favorite X-Men movies. Though they're not the X-Men, they technically are mutants, and they technically are training at Xavier's. So I'm going to call them X-Men. And it is one of the best X-Men movies I have ever seen. Xavier is not in it. Cyclops is not in it. Wolverine is not in it. It is Emma Frost and Banshee training Jubilee, and a bunch of other young mutants. And it is so good. I mean, there's stuff in it that talks about stuff in modern day, and it is so good. I'm going to get into it because it is so good. So it starts out with our villain, Russell Thresh, trying to open up a mutant's brain to get the X genes out. And then Emma Frost comes in and stops him. Well, then the MEA, which stands for Mutant at something authority, comes in and says it's an unregistered mutant and they have to take it to a mutant camp. And judging by the way Emma Frost reacts, I don't think mutant camp is some sort of fun summer camp. So then she's like, how is Russell gonna be punished? And he just gets kicked out of the institute. And Emma is pissed and uses her telekinetic powers to throw a whole big hissy fit. Well, then we go 5 years later, and we see our male lead, Angelo, who I have no idea who plays him, who can stretch, being sent to Xavier School. And then we see Russell Thresh, working for this big company, saying he's created a way to go into people's dreams and leave messages in their subconscious for them to buy more. He calls it brainwashing. His boss says, don't call it brainwashing, call it advertising. Which kind of relates to modern day, because they're trying to advertise in our dreams. Which is something out of Futurama. And then we see our female lead, Jubilee, playing in an arcade. Russell Thresh is there to see if his advertising is working, and is on Jubilee, and she's playing Virtual Fighter more. At which point her mutant powers go off to shoot fireworks out of her fingers. So the police come and try to arrest Jubilee, and she runs, and then she shoots fireworks out of her fingers when the police are arresting her, and so she goes to jail. And her mom is trying to talk the policeman out of sending her to a mutant camp. She says she's an American, she has rights. And the policeman is like, she is a mutant, and she is a terrorist because she used her power against the cops. So she's a mutant terrorist, and neither mutants nor terrorists have rights in this country. So she is going to be sent to a mutant camp. So then Banshee and Emma Frost show up and talk her mom into sending her to Xavier School. Now, in order to get the cops to agree with this, it's going to take some fancy talking, isn't it? Except for Emma is a powerful psychic. So powerful that she's almost as powerful as Xavier is in the comic books. So she walks up. Mind you, that is in ordinary clothes, and she holds up a picture of a cow, and she says, I'm Officer Hootie, this is Officer Blowfish, we're here to pick up the mutant from mutant camp. And they fall for it. And so Jubilee is now going with them. Honestly, she could have walked up and held a picture of poop, said, I'm poop, this is poop, 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 poop. And she could have used her psychic powers, and they would have fallen for it. As I said, she was a very powerful psychic. And then they pick up Angelo, and then they go to school for Xavier, where we meet the rest of the kids. Mondo, dude with laser eyes, Harley, who is super buff, black chick, who's absolutely perfect, and that might be it. That might be it. And then you got stretchy guy Jubilee. And they start teaching Angelo on the security system. And Russell Thresh is continuing to go into people's dreams. Well, Angelo finds a way to go into people's dreams by going into this locked area, bypassing security to make my security card, and go into this locked area and finds this dream machine. Well, Jubilee goes in first and meets Russell Thresh, who creeps her out, so she goes out. So she leaves her dream and wakes up. Angelo then goes in there and sees this girl he likes from town, and Russell Thresh introduces them and makes the girl fall for Angelo, which really makes Angelo happy. So Angelo continues to use the machine every night to best meet with this girl. Russell Thresh has his meeting with the shareholders to get more funding for his dream machine. And he does something extremely stupid and makes them all burp at 10 a.m. At which point, they decide to fire him and have him arrested. So he goes into his boss's dream and has his boss kill himself, because why not? Batman Forever hasn't come out yet. It's only 96. Batman Forever came out in like 90 something. It was 90 something, you know. We all don't remember it because we were all busy doing cocaine. So then he goes into Angelo's dream. So then they disconnect. So then they disconnect Russell when he's in Angelo's dream, but Angelo grabs his consciousness, and pulls it back in the dream world, making Russell's body a shell. So then they all go to town for this big fair, circus, fireman's ball. We're gonna go to town. I don't know. It's something with rides and concessions and games and stuff. Whatever they call that in New York. Because Xavier School is in New York. And of course, the Xavier kids get into a fight with the townies, which ends up almost getting them expelled. So Angelo goes back into his honey's dream because he can't actually get to her now, and is dancing with her and stuff. But then Russell goes into Angelo's dream and says, "You have to help me get my body back." So Angelo does it, and then Russell ties Angelo up to get into his X genes, get into the X mutation that's in some part of the brain. Well, Angelo manages to dream hop without using the machine, and gets a hold of Jubilee who gets hold of Banshee and Emma Frost, and they decide they've got to stop this. How are they going to stop this? By blowing up New York. No, they're going to actually, go fight Russell. So they get all the students up and they go fight Russell. But Russell is already mutated by being in the dream world that long. And he is all powerful. Which you can't really tell because all he does is be giant and laugh. But he's all powerful apparently. He doesn't throw lightning bolts. This is a made for TV movie, people. There's not a lot of special effects. I mean, 2 of the kids are super strong. One shoots laser eyes. 2 of the kids are super strong. The one kid takes on whatever he's holding. So if he's holding stone, he becomes like stone. If he's holding steel, he becomes like steel. Yeah. I mean, then you got Stretchy Guy and Jubilee. So there's not a whole lot of special effects in this movie. It's like they chose the cheapest special effect mutants. So Emma's going to fight Russell to the death. She's going to take them both out. When Stretchy Guy, now known as Skin, because that's perfectly appropriate name for a guy who stretches, wraps up Russell and knocks him into the oblivion of the dream world. But don't worry, he lives because he's Skin and he can stretch to everywhere. He's stretchier than Stretch Armstrong, and he doesn't need corn syrup. I don't know what he needs, but he's stretchier. And so they all live, and Russell's consciousness is lost into the dream world. I skipped a bunch of shit. And this is a really good movie. Like, first time we met the townies, and I skipped a bunch of shit. But this is a really good movie. It is like, with really good characters, who I just so happen to not know any of their names, except for Jubilee and Skin, and Emma and Banshee. So, this is a really good movie. It's on YouTube. I recommend checking it out. It's called Generation X. Just look up Generation X full movie, and you will find it. Join me next week when I will talk about Triple H's time in WCW, and we will do my Black History Month movie, Blackenstein. Wow, this is a long video. See you then.